Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Benedict here from BJ Learn, and in this class, I want us to talk about the basics of Excel. So, if you are a beginner and you need to know how Excel works, so this is your class. And then again, we did a previous video on the features of an Excel, so you can click on this link up here. So, let us start. Let's talk about the basics of an Excel. So, on my screen here, I have a simple table. So we want to use this simple table to show you the very basics of commands that we use in Excel. So we have a column A, we have column B, column C, column D, and column E. And column A is for dates, column B is for type of fruits, and then column C is unit sold, column D is unit price, and then column E is total sales. So let's assume that we want to know the total number of sales for each type of fruit and each type of day, rather each given day. So we'll come here and type is equal to. So you can see our equal sign is also being reflected on our formula bar. You can see up here we have the equal sign. So this is the active cell apparently. So an active cell will always be having a borderline around it. So we type is equal to, then we click C3. So C3 is the unit sold for up on the day 27th March 11. Then we multiply by D3. So D3 is the unit price. Then we enter. So when you check on our rather you check on our multiplication or on our formula, you can see we have C3. So C3 is a relative reference to that cell, and also D3 is also a relative reference. Relative reference means that the reference is only based on that cell. So we can always copy these formulas down. So the reference cells will change as we copy formulas down. So when I copy these formulas down, to copy formulas down, just click on this cell, then put your cursor at the top right corner, at the bottom right corner of that cell. Then you drag your cursor down. So that one we've copied the formula. So I was talking about the reference cell. So let's assume it for now. We'll talk about it on future classes where we'll talk about absolute reference and relative reference. For now, let's just know the formula. So it is C3 times D3. Then we drag the formula down to get the total sales for a given day. So let's assume you also want to know the total sales, the grand total sales under column E. So we'll come here and we can type is equal to, then we write sum, then bracket, then we click E3, then drag it, we select all the cells up to E17, then we close the bracket, then we enter. Or we can also instead of writing sum, that was a formula as well, you can also press alt, you press alt and equal sign, so that will give you a total. Then you just press, that will select all the cells, and it will also write the formula for sum. Then we press enter, or you can as well click on this cell, then go to home tab, then you click this summation command, then it will write the formula for getting the total sum is equal to E3 sum in bracket E3 to E17, then we get the formula, or rather we get the total amount. So here we also have the header rows, rather the header row, where we have date, we have the type of fruit, we have unit sold, we have unit price, and we also have total sales. So we can always format the heading. So to format the heading, we'll use the font commands. Here we have the font commands to format our text. So the first one here is for font style. So we can change the font style of the header rows. We'll come and click here. We can use Arial instead of Calibri. We can use Arial. Then we can also change the font size. So we come and click on this row. We can choose 14, 12, 18, whichever number that we deem fit for the headers. So let me use 12. Then instead of using the numbers to change the font size, you can use these letters. There's a big letter A with an arrow facing up, and a small letter A with an arrow facing down. So when you click this arrow, you increase the font. When you click this other one, the small A, you reduce the font size. And then down here we have the letter B, I, and U. B is making this text. We can use it to make the headers bold. We can bold the headers. So we'll highlight these cells, then click B. So now they become bold. When I click B again, I unbold them. So let me bold them again. So I is for utilizing the text or the data. So when I click I, you see the headers have been italicized. When I click it again, we make it inactive, so they are not italicized. So let me click it again. So when I want to underline, I will click U. So U has a single underline and a double underline. So when I want a double underline, I will click this arrow and I click double underline. But when I want single, I will click this one with single underline. So the next one is for borders. So we can create borders within our cells or within the columns. So let's assume we want to create borders within these columns. Let's forget about the cells. We can come here and click this arrow. So we have various options that you can click. We have bottom border, thick border. We have all these options. But I want to create borders on the rows or on the columns. So I will scroll down and go where we have more borders. Then I will where we have this layout called border and the text written inside. I will click here. Then I will also click at the center, not at the center, but at this other side. But before then, this should not be clicked before you highlight the cells that you want to border. So let me just cancel. So I will come here again and select all these cells, and I click this arrow here to give me the options of different types of borders. Then I go to more borders. Then I click here just on my left. I click on the middle, and then I click towards the end on my right, and I click OK. So now you can see we've created border lines within the columns. Again, to select cells or select cells with data, you can always click on this, the first cell at the top left corner, like this one, A2. Then you press shift and control, and now you can use the downward arrow. You can press the down on arrow to select the cells going downwards, then the right hand side arrow to select the cells going to the right. Okay, or I can just, want to click the whole worksheet, will come here at this corner here and click here, so the whole worksheet has been selected. So we've talked about the borders. Now I want us to talk about the background color or the fill color of the cells. So when I want to change the background color of this header row, I will come and click on this fill color. I can change the colors. I can choose the colors that I want. Let me go with this. I can also change the font color. So let me make this white. So we are done with the font commands. So let's talk about the alignment. So alignment is here. So under alignment is for aligning our data. You can align them vertically or horizontally. So the top row is for aligning the data aligning the data horizontally. So I'll come here, the top here. When I want to align data vertically, I will use these commands. When I want to align them horizontally, I will use these alignment commands. So let's start with this one. So this one is vertical alignment, but it is for top alignment. So when I come to, let me just try to expand these rows, the row height, so that we can see the changes as they happen. So I want to in this row, rather in this column, I want to vertically align the data to the top. So I will click this. So by default they've been aligned to the top. So in the next column I want to align the data to the center. So I'll click this center middle alignment, and then by default they've been aligned to the center. And in this one I want to align them to vertically to the bottom, but by default they've been aligned to the bottom of the cells. And then this one is for orientation. So we have various options of commands. We have vertical, rotate text down, angle clockwise, angle anti-clockwise. You can choose any that suits your data. So let me try to undo. So here you can choose any that we feel okay. See, and then moving down to the horizontal alignment, we have this one to the left, this one to the center, this to the right, and this one is for indentation. You can indent your data. So when I click so this one by default, the column A by default has been aligned to the left. You can see it's aligned to the left, nothing is changing. So when I click this one for center alignment, you will see the values moving to the center of the column. When I click this to align right, the values will be aligned to the right. And then this other one is for indentation. So let me just take these values again back to the left. We see how we can change the indentation. So this one is to decrease indent, and this other one is to increase indent. So decrease indent will put the data to the left, and then increase indent will be moving the data to the right. So let me use this increase indent. You can see the data is moving to the right. And then this one is for merging cells. Let's assume I want to, on top here I want to say total monthly sales. So I want this one to be rather this heading to be on top of this table, but I want the cells to be merged from A1 to E1. So I will select all these cells and then click merge, or I can go with the various options that we have here. So we have merge to center, merge across, merge cells, or unmerge. If I want to unmerge, I'll just come and click this one. If I want to merge again, I can as well click on the merging command again. Then we also have the commands for a number. So this is for aligning our data, formatting our data. So we can come here where we have values. We have numerical values or date values, and we want to shape this. Want to shape the data within these numerical values using these commands. So let's start with unit sold. So unit sold is general, but let's say we want to put them in terms of a number as opposed to general. So we'll come and click here where we have the general. Then we say number. We want them to be in specific number. Sorry. Then again, let's talk about reducing the decimal point that we have. So I will come and select these values and click on these arrows. We have the one to the left and the other one to the right. One will increase the decimal points. The other one will increase the decimal. Will decrease the decimal zeros. So I can click on this one. It will decrease. This other one will increase. And then we also have instead we don't want number, we want the accounting figures. So accounting figures must have the reference currency before just the numbers. We can click on this value for accounting. You will see now we have the dollar sign. The same applies to when we use currency. You can now see the dollar signs just before the numbers, but now the dollar sign and the numbers are a bit close. Then we can also use a date. So date will be meant for the date column. Long date again for the date column. Can also have time, can also have percentage, fraction. So these are various commands that we'll use to format your data in respect of what you want. So let's go to unit price. I want us to change this to dollar sign. So I will select all the cells. And come and click where we have the dollar sign. So we have English dollar sign for United States, but I want more format of the dollar sign. So it's still under accounting. When I click that, it takes me to accounting. Let me just try again. So when I click here, I go to more accounting formats. So these are all the formats. We have general, number, currency, date, time, percentage, fraction, and all that. So you can always choose any. You can choose custom, you can choose special, text, scientific, fraction, whichever that we want. But let's go with accounting. So I want a different symbol sign. Let's assume we want to use let's say we want to use Kenya shillings. So we have all most of the currency signs within this Excel commands. So I want to use Kenya shillings, which is case. Then I click OK. So you can see that it has been changed to Kenya shillings. But since we are using a dollar on the column for units sold, so here we are just supposed to use absolute figures with no dollar sign or no currency sign, because these are just units. So let me do away with this dollar sign. I will use a general. So here we have Kenya shillings. So the total sales again will also be in Kenya shillings. So I will come here again and click more accounting formats. Then click here where we have the symbol and accounting option. Then I can type in my PC. Yes. Then I click OK. So when I want to copy this format down to these other cells within the same column, we'll click here, come to where we have the clipboard. So we have the clipboard commands, these ones here. So I want to format paint this format down to the cells. So I will click on this a cell, then I'll come here and double click. So when I double click, it means that I want to format paint these other cells by just clicking on them once. So I'll click on this one, I'll click on this as well, this as well, this as well, like that. But I can also click on them in terms of ranges, so you can just select all of them at once. Then I have my format painter done. Then let's assume we want to copy this table and paste it on a different Excel workbook. So let me click on this sheet 2, but first we need to copy it. So I will come here, I can copy the whole worksheet, or I can just select these cells, then I'll right click to copy, or I can come here where we have the clipboard and click this copy command. With the shortcut we can use Control C. So I copy this one, this table, then come to sheet 2, then I can use Control V, or I can right click and paste. So when you are pasting, you can paste special. So paste special means maybe you want to paste the values only without the formulas, or you want to paste with all the formulas, or you want to bring in the format from the previous cell to be pasted also on this destination worksheet. So let us just paste. So this one will paste everything with the formulas. So you see I've pasted, but now the values have shrunk. So for you to expand the column width, you can click at the corner here where we have A1 and A2, just before A1 and A, rather just before A and 1. Click in this corner here to select the whole sheet. Then now you want to you want to have automated column width. So you just come after selecting the whole sheet, then you double click anywhere on this column letters. So you can see now we've expanded columns to auto width. So that was about pasting. So we've copy pasted, we've also expanded our columns. Again, let's assume let me take you back to values sheet. Let's assume you want to cut all these values and paste in a different destination cells. So I will come here and copy. Now we want to cut and paste, so we are not copying. So I will go to clipboard commands where we have the scissor, cut this, then I'll click on H1, so I can paste using this command, or I can right click and paste. See, so now we've cut and we've pasted. And then we can also adjust the width of our columns by selecting all. Selecting these columns, we click on H1 and move across as we press down our mouse button. Then we double click on any rather on any column letter, not any column letter, but the line between the letters. We can click on any of them on the selected column. So I double click here, so we have adjusted columns, the row, the column width. So that was copy pasting, and we were cutting and pasting. So let me again take this back to where it was. To take it back where it was, we can use Control Z. So Control Z will take the data to initial place where they were. Control Z again, it's been taken back. So now I want us to use this comma style. So the comma style will just give you the commas after every 3 digits of the values of numerical values from the right. So let's assume that this was let's assume the unit price. Okay, not the unit price, but the sold quantity here was 1,000 or 144, or let's use 1,044. Then let's expand this. So you can see already we have a comma here. So the comma style has been applied, where we have core 4, then comma, then 176. But if I click on this comma again, you can see now the the case and the letters KES have disappeared, but we still have the dollar, rather the comma, and just before 176 or after 4. And then we also have the percentage. So percentage, just to apply a percentage on given values. So let's say you want to get the total sales, the percentage of total sales as of 27 March against the grand total. So we'll say is equal to this, then we divide by the total sales here. So here we've been given these values in decimal places, but we want them in percentage. So we'll click this cell here and click this percentage command or percentage style icon. So now you can see this one is just 1%. So that is how to use the number commands. So let's move to I want us to move to styles. The styles of command we have: can format table, we have conditional format, we have cell styles. So let me start with conditional format. So let me undo this. To undo, we say we type Control plus Z to undo. I also want to undo this 1044. So let's assume you want to use conditional formatting to determine the values that are just above 100 in terms of total sales. So I will come here and select all these cells. Then I go to conditional formatting. I'll click on this command. You can use the downward row. Then here we have various options. We can highlight cells based on rules. We can highlight top or bottom rules. This one will give you the top, the bottom 10% or top 10%, the average and all that. We can also use bars, data bars. We can use color scales. We can use icon sets, or you can also create your own new rules. Then after creating the rules, you can also clear the rules, and you can as well manage the rules by editing, deleting, or creating additional rules. So let's start with this of greater than. So we want values that are greater than 100. So here we'll write 100. You can see the values are being highlighted, but you can also change the color to a different color, maybe green. You can use text red. You can use a red border, whichever style you can choose. So we click OK. So let's go back again and do another conditional formatting. Let's say we want to the top 10 items. We'll click here, the top 10. I want to use green. So these are the top 10. So let's get another conditional formatting. The bottom, we want to use bottom 10 items. Let's use red. Let me use green or yellow. Let me use yellow. So these are the bottom. Okay, and see the bottom 10. So that's all about conditional formatting. We have various options. You can also have your color scales. So color scales will be applied depending on the values that we have. If they are small or big, the colors will be different. So let's see this. You can see now where we have the top, the 576 is having this is pink. If I'm not colorblind, it should be pink. And then you can also come here again and do away with the rules. You can clear the rules. You can clear the rules based on selected cells, or you can clear the rules based on the entire worksheet. So let me clear rules based on these selected cells. So now you can see you don't have the rules again. So we are done with the formatting. You can also format a table. You see, so to format a table, first again we must select all these cells. We must select the table. So let's select the table. So I'm not selecting the title, because this one is just the title of the table. It's not a table per se. It's not part of the table, just the title of the table, but this is what we call the table. So we can come here and format the table. We can use this. See, then click OK. And come back again, highlight the table again, come format the table, use this color. You can always change the colors, whichever you want. Okay, so that was formatting formatting a table. So we also have a color styles. You can change good, bad. See, where the values are high, you can say this is good, this is neutral. You can also see the header styles. You can come here and click here and change the headers. See, and this small, this big, title, total. That's all about the styles. Then we can also go to cells. We also have cells formatting, so we can change, we can delete cells, we can insert, we can format. Formatting, we can have the row height, the column width, the auto column, the visibility. You can hide rows, hide columns. We have all this, and then you can also protect the sheet. So we have various commands. So when it comes to editing, you can sort, you can filter, you can do all that. But most of the basics we've touched. So let's come here. We want to create borders on this this total. So we'll highlight this cell, then come here, then create a top and thick border bottom, or top and double border. You can choose that. Now we see what we have. Then when it comes to editing, where we have sort, filter, find, sound. So let's assume you want to filter out only the values that was held on 5th of March. So this one is where we apply the filters. We'll come to where we have the headers. So here I can come here, and already we have the filters. So now I want to do away with the filters. I will come here where we have data, and I click so here we cannot do away with the filters because the data is already on a table. So let me take you back to the home tab. So we just want to filter out sales of 27th March. So we'll come here and click on this row and click the sales of 27th March. We'll first tick where we have 2011 to untick everything. Then we come here where we have 27. When we click this, then we also do away with the total. So now you can see we have sales for 27th March. So we can again come and click where we have 2011 to select all the sales of those particular dates. We can also sort. So sorting, we can select the whole table here, and then we click sort. So we can sort from oldest to newest, or from newest to oldest. So when I click here, so we are sorting by date. So it's starting from the oldest to newest. You can come back again here, sort from oldest, again from newest to oldest. You can see what we have, and then I click sort again and filter. I can custom a sort. I can sort by date, again come and sort by cell values or cell color. So if you start by date, and then we can also do a multiple sort, multi-level sort. Also we start by date, then we also add another level. So in this level I want to sort by units sold, and I click OK. So here we'll start by date, then by units sold. So supposing we had 2 dates, so these values will be sorted by first by the date, and then again by the units sold. So in those 2 dates, one value was having more units sold than the other, that value will appear at the top. So I think we've done most of the commands, the basic commands. So when we come back, we'll tie ourselves to a specific commands used in Excel. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you again on the next video.